Listen, I'm excited about this topic because, I belong to a subreddit group, and ladies, are you tired of being sick and tired? And I know you've probably been asked that question again and again and again. And, I have a subreddit that I belong to. And the biggest thing I find is that women they're just tired. Here this lady says, I have a job, but I'm depressed. How many of you have a job and you're depressed? I have a job and I'm depressed. I've taken some time out to travel and I hate coming back to work. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar to you? It is something I've always liked working from home, but it's stressful and management adds more to do. So she's getting stressed out. She has a management position and they're adding more and more to do. And she just feels like, my question to those who are fulfilled and happy, or maybe even made the final switch, how did you find your purpose? It's really interesting. Like, she didn't say, how did you find your job? She said, how did you find your purpose? Now, listen to me. I know I get on here and I tell you guys, start a YouTube channel, right? She says she has a degree in cybersecurity, but she works in IT. She hasn't been able to find a job in cybersecurity, but cybersecurity and IT, cybersecurity, I believe, is a step up. I'm not an IT person, but I imagine that's a little bit more stressful when you're into cybersecurity. So, and it's a very competitive field. And I know what that feels like, to be in a job and just not feel fulfilled. And I'm a nurse. I love nursing. But that 9 to 5, something about working that 9 to 5. And guess what? As a nurse, you don't work 9 to 5. You work 3/12s. You work, 4/12s. And sometimes you work 16-hour shifts. It's exhausting. And, the worst part is that we don't see the raise. We don't see when it comes time for a raise or a cost of living adjustment, it's very minuscule in comparison to how exhausted we feel, right? And this was my response, and I wanted to come share this response with you because I know I keep telling you guys, create a YouTube channel. It doesn't have to be a YouTube channel, but you have to find a way to release your creative energy. And you know why? Women are meant to create. Part of you stepping into your authentic self is finding your creativity, because women are meant to create. Women have babies, right? We create babies. And although we don't all have children, some of us decide not to have children, but that is in our nature. Our nature is to create. And so when those years have passed, that's why when you get into your 40s, right? 40s and 50s, like, you're not in your childbearing years anymore, right? That ship has sailed for most of us. For the very few that can have kids in their 50s, that's wonderful. But for most of us, the ship has sailed. And it's time, and what we do when that happens, right? Then we start reaching for those management positions. We start competing in the world for all these 9 to 5 jobs that we're exhausted in. Now we start competing for higher positions that bring more stress when you're already stressed out, because we think the way to fulfillment is to get a raise and make more money. And if any of you out there have done that, let me know how that worked out for you. Because most women that I know who have done that and excelled at it, they may be happy about the money, but they're exhausted, they're tired, and they consistently have more shit piled on their desk every day, that more than they care to deal with. And they are feeling unfulfilled. That's the worst part. You're feeling unfulfilled. Why? Because a lot of these jobs are not about creating anything. These jobs are task driven, right? And it's really interesting that a lot of jobs are that way because men are task driven, right? So you're in a man's world competing for those jobs. It's just the way it is. These jobs are very task driven. How many of you go to work and get to create something? If you're a designer, maybe, maybe some of you are. And if you are, please drop us a comment down below and let me know what you do. And my suggestion is what I did. I'm just going to tell you what I did is when I realized I was bored and I couldn't quit my job, I created this channel. I used this as an outlet for my creativity. And it's probably the best thing I ever did. And no, my channel is not the biggest channel and I don't care. I decided to cater to women like myself who are tired of being tired, who just want to step into their authenticity or figuring out how to do it. And I'll continue to post for every one of you who will listen. And even if you won't listen, I still get to come here and I learn something every day. I tap into my creativity, into things about myself. I learn things about, about creating movies and creating things I would not otherwise not learn at my job. I would never learn those at my job. I would get put in a job. I would be given a task and most of it is not about creating anything. It's about problem solving and very task oriented. And then we wonder why we're burnt out because we're constantly in our minds and we just need to be creative. We want to be in our hearts, creating something that we love. And the outlet that this gives, being on YouTube or creating a blog. And if you're on YouTube, you don't have to do like me. You don't have to put your face on YouTube. I mean, I decided that that's what I was going to do because I didn't realize I probably would have hid behind, something, and just use my voice or something and did it a different way. But I'm glad I didn't. I'm really glad I didn't because I learned a lot about being on camera and I'm still learning a lot. It's not perfect. You will see sometimes I get on, it's dark. I'm not great with the lighting all the time. Sometimes it's better than others and that's fine. Sometimes I like it more dim. I get to play. What it is this became my playground. It became a way for me to share some things that I've learned in life, some things that I've learned through my career as a nurse, some things that I'm still learning to come on here and share it with you. And that helped me tap into my creativity. And words can't even express how much this has helped me tap into my authenticity, helped me tap into my feminine side. Because I decided years ago, management was not for me. I went from job to job looking for that fulfillment. And then I finally realized when I stepped into my this last position that I've been in for over 10 years, that I thought, well, maybe this is it. Like, you know what? I'll go for management. And then I quickly realized that everyone around me, all the women around me who were in management they didn't hate their job, but they're running ragged. And I was just like, no, I'm 45 years old, 46, 47 years old. I don't care to run ragged anymore. I've had kids. I've done my time with, doing the task. I'm still working a full-time job. I just want to do that job, whatever task it is that they give me without the additional headache of having to manage anyone, and then use whatever extra time or energy that I have in my evenings to create something that rocks my world, that fulfills me. And this was it. This was it for me. And it continues to be it for me. Whether people listen or they don't listen, it's really irrelevant. And that's the thing. So I want all of you out there who are feeling burnt out, if you have some knowledge of something, if you know something, I mean, for this woman, it was cybersecurity. I don't know what you do for a living. Create a blog. Create a blog. Even if nobody listens, this is you tapping into that creative energy. This is you tapping into your feminine energy. It will do something for you like nothing else will. Like no job, no management position, and no amount of money that that management position can give you that this will do for you. So I don't think there's much else to say. Just, if you want some other ideas, drop me a comment down below. Let me know, and I will, I'll figure out. I'll create a video with some other ideas. All I could think of now, because I have a blog, I have this, I have a YouTube. I have a few YouTube channels at this point because as I've gotten more and more creative, I've used some of these other YouTube channels to tap in some other sides of my creativity that are in a different niche, right? And so I didn't want, at first I started putting everything on this channel and it got kind of muddy. So I decided, I learned that, sometimes you need to split up. It's okay to create a different channel. And it's not all about just growing the YouTube channel. It's about my growth. It's about your growth. Who cares? You need to get on when you do this, when you're tapping into your creativity, you need to look at it as you're tapping into your own feminine energy that a lot of these jobs don't allow you to do. And tapping into that feminine energy helps you find a part of yourself that's probably been lost for a long time, that you don't get to tap in when you go to work from 9 to 5. And like I said, there's something that clicks, something that happens when you start to tap into that feminine energy that just starts to fill you. You're no longer exhausted, you're no longer bored, and you're no longer trying to compete in the man's world for that man's job, doing another task that's going to send you home exhausted. And I'm not saying if you love to do that, then have at it. If you really feel fulfilled doing that, have at it. But most of us are doing it because we're like, oh, there's a raise, there's more money. And of course, we think that that's going to buy us time and freedom. There's no greater freedom than doing something you love, doing something that fills you and that taps into your authentic energy and doesn't make you have to step in to your masculine side every single day and every single hour of every day. We need as women to tap into that feminine energy. There's something about that will make you glow like you haven't glowed in a long time. So if you decide to do this, drop me a comment down below and let me know if you'll try it out. Come back to this video, save it, and come back and let me know if you tried it out and how it worked out for you. It may take, a few months before you start to feel the difference. You may feel it immediately. You may feel some creativity. You may write something that you're like, damn, I haven't done this in a long time if you're a writer. You may find that you have some talents that you didn't even know you had. And by the way, in the description box is a link for my my newsletter. So hit that link, click on it. Yes, click on it and subscribe to my newsletter. I'm going to be sending one out every month. I'll be sharing things about myself, how I tapped into my creativity, what led me to that, maybe a little bit more intimate things that I don't share on YouTube and don't care to share on YouTube, but I will share with my subscribers in the newsletter that may be helpful to you as you get on your journey. And as part of that, there's a free gift for you, which is a boric acid wellness guide that is for us ladies over 40, because, as we get older, our hormone levels drop, things change. And when your hormone levels change, sometimes there's some female body odor that happens that no one talked to us about. So because no one talked to us about it, I'm going to talk to you about it. And it's when you subscribe for the newsletter, you're going to get a whole guide about boric acid. Any supplements that you take, please talk to your doctor about it. But the guide will explain to you everything there is to know about boric acid and women's body odor after 40. That's free. That's a free guide that I created for you, and it'll come right when you sign up for my newsletter. It'll come right to your inbox. And I have another guide that I have another guide that I'm also sending to you. It's I couldn't remember earlier. I did another video and I was like, what did I put in there? It's a 7-day cleanse that I am including for free to you to get you started on your wellness journey. So, and it's just a 7-day cleanse. It's just a, I'm drawing a blank right now. That 7-day cleanse is just about rejuvenating your body, eating a little bit healthier, and that also helps you tap into your feminine energy. It clears your mind. Listen, ladies, it's time to get on track, right? It's time to stop living. There's nothing wrong with living in the masculine world. We have to go to work, but we need to find ways to tap into our creativity, and I'm here for that. I'm down for that, and I'm here to help you do that. So let's do it together. All right. So anyhow, thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to hit the subscribe so that you can be notified anytime I upload a new video. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about this, and do subscribe to the newsletter, and I will see you in the next one. You do what? You stay sexy. See you next time.